The fastest, easiest, most guaranteed way to find your big breakthrough is to observe what everybody else does and don't do that. If you're looking for a big idea, something that will catapult you above and beyond your competitors and or your peers, allow you to rise above and make disproportionately a positive impact on the world, on those around you, then this will be invaluable to you. The first premise is don't do what others do. The fastest, easiest, most guaranteed way to find your big breakthrough is to observe what everybody else does and don't do that. Here's why the majority is always wrong. Just look at the results. Less than 1% of those living in the most abundant and opportunity-filled country of the world, the United States, less than 1% of the population living in the land of milk and honey ever get wealthy. And only about 4% achieve any level of financial security and independence. The 95%, the vast majority, does not. That tells you that 95% of the people around you, the vast majority, have the wrong thinking, talk about the wrong things, make the wrong choices, and take the wrong action. For goodness sakes, don't do what they do. Here are a few things the majority does. They follow popular trends, engaging in activities or adopting ideas simply because they are popular or widely accepted. They avoid risks, be it capital or be it ego, which limits opportunities for major gains or breakthroughs. They adhere to traditional ideas and methodologies without questioning their effectiveness or exploring new possibilities. They fixate on the short term, concentrating on immediate results or gratification rather than planning for the long-term success and sustainability. They rely on standardized educational paths, not seeking additional or alternative knowledge sources. They neglect personal growth and continuous learning, which are crucial for adapting and thriving in a changing environment. And let's talk about how this has worked out for the majority. The majority of Americans are overweight, with 42% being considered morbidly obese. The divorce rate is 50% plus. The majority is broke. The average American has about $92,000 in debt. 39% wouldn't be able to cover a $400 emergency expense right now. The majority is out of shape, scoring a 59 out of 100 on the Health Eating Index, which is an F as a grade, by the way, indicating poor dietary choices and are high in sugars, saturated fats, and sodium. The majority is lonely, with 3 out of 5 Americans, 61%, report feeling lonely, having very few, if any, close friends. And they are screen-sucking themselves to death. The average American adult spends about 11 hours per day watching, listening, or generally interacting with screens and media. So, the starting point to find your big breakthrough is to take a look at the majority around you and don't eat what they eat. Don't buy what they buy. Don't watch what they watch. Don't read what they read. Don't think like they think. Don't go where they go. Don't do what they do. Instead, do the opposite, and you'll more likely be on the right path. You see, most people, when they look around at what the majority around them are doing, they mimic the majority in order to fit in, and it perpetuates. Don't do that. Now, here's where you can look at the very exceptional minority, who are the very few at the top of your industry. What are they doing? How are they doing it? You want to find clues and insights from those who are generating the best results. They have probably tested, tried, tweaked, adjusted, optimized what they are doing and how they are doing it over time. Accelerate your learnings by studying the best. I'm not suggesting mimicking or modeling them. What works for one might not work for another. But what I am saying is to speed up your rate of learning by studying the methods of those who have the results that you seek. Then, try, test, tweak, and iterate on those ideas to find out what derivatives that work best for you. This is true in business and in your personal life. Someone who has the health, the body, the fitness that you desire. Often their diet, workout, or regimen and schedule might not work for you, but there are lots of clues to be discovered in what they do and how they do it for you to try, test, tweak, and iterate on to find the derivatives that will work best for you. It will at least significantly accelerate your learning. So let's sum up this. Number one, the majority settles for the safe, herd-accepted, conventional paths. Then they mimic each other in order to fit in. That leads directly to mediocrity. Number two, observing and doing the opposite of the majority dramatically increases your chances of finding your big breakthrough. And number 3, studying and learning from the very exceptional minority. Those who have achieved the exceptional results that you desire can radically accelerate your progress. Now, where to find big breakthrough ideas? Ideas above and beyond even the very exceptional minority in your industry and what they're leveraging. Here's where. Outside your industry. Big breakthroughs always come from outside your industry. This is the syndrome most industries fall into. It's called the blind leading the blind. Most people only attend events in their industry, go to industry conferences, attend industry webinars, do training within and about their industry, hire coaches, advisors, and consultants that specialize in their industry. This leads to tunnel vision. When you listen to what everybody else is listening to, you can only repeat what everybody else is doing, which is why you can only get the results everyone else is getting. And that leads to the syndrome of the blind leading the blind. Everybody following everybody in one direction and often off a cliff. You see it happen inside industries all the time. In fact, it's exactly what causes bubbles and busts and crises like led up to the dot-com crash and the 2008 mortgage financial crisis, the meme stock debacle, and the NFT boondoggle. To become the dominant market leader, to reinvent or revolutionize your industry, you are not likely to find your breakthrough inside the industry. Instead of tunnel vision, you need what I call binocular vision, the optics to look outside your industry. This is how Fred Smith got his idea for overnight delivery efficiency for FedEx. He imported the idea from the banking industry, the hub and spoke model they used for decades to clear checks quickly. That one import created a multi-billion-dollar behemoth and made Fred Smith fantastically wealthy. The ballpoint pen was invented and patented in 1888. But it wasn't until the 1940s that somebody imported that idea into the personal consumer care product industry. They applied the same ball application device to underarm deodorant. In 1952, it was marketed as Band Roll-On, and billions of dollars were made on that one idea import. Steve Jobs was the king of importing ideas. In fact, it can be argued that Steve and Apple has never created anything truly new. The MP3 player existed before the iPod, the mobile phone, handheld devices, Palm Pilots, the internet browser, proprietary music delivery systems like Napster existed before the iPhone. Tablets existed before the iPad. To make the first iMac in 1998, to make it cool and classy, to break it out of the gray and beige box that dominated the computer market at the time, the Apple design team decided to make the computer shell brightly colored and translucent so that it was distinctive and more approachable. The problem was it was impossible to manufacture plastic strong enough to encase a computer and be brightly colored without streaking and be transparent. So instead of giving up, the design team looked outside their industry. They ended up at a candy manufacturer, the one who made Jawbreakers. Do you remember those? In the candy manufacturing industry, they had perfected a curing process that allowed transparency and hardness. It was a common, well-known manufacturing technique in their industry that had existed for decades. But it took Apple going outside their industry to find it. And when they imported it into the computer industry, they created a breakthrough and a revolution, one that became the most valuable company in the world and the first to become a $3 trillion company. Apple wouldn't be Apple if they didn't look outside their industry and import the ideas common in other industries into theirs to create their big breakthroughs. As Einstein taught us, you can't solve a problem with the same thinking that created the problem. Well, I'm teaching you here, you can't create a breakthrough with the thinking everybody in your industry is already thinking. In fact, that is one of the major advantages that I make possible for you at our Business Masterclass. The curriculum is drawn from the very best in the world from a vast array of different industries. And then I show you the many examples of how other businesses, also from hundreds of different industries, how they incorporated the ideas and strategies that I teach you. This allows you to draw from ideas proven to work in other industries that might not yet be imported into yours, giving you the advantage of the big breakthrough, catapulting you to the top of your industry and having you be the one to become wealthy because of it. Not for inventing anything new, but by simply importing something already proven outside your industry into yours. I hope that you got this very important lesson here today. I showed you exactly where to find your breakthroughs, which is probably opposite of where you're looking now. I'm going to reveal the source code of all business and personal success to you. The very source code. Are you ready for it? I'll ask you to first take a guess. If you could boil down the success source code of your product or service, or of your business, or of your personal success to one thing, what would it be? What do you think it is? Some might say, well, it's management or leadership. That's what always makes the difference. That must be the source code of success. Well, we have seen companies and causes and teams who had very talented players in leadership still fail. Corporations like Enron, Lehman Brothers, Theranos, Kodak, Blockbuster, BlackBerry are perfect examples. In the sports world, teams like the 2008 Detroit Lions come to mind. They had Calvin Johnson, known as Megatron, one of the most talented players in the NFL, along with running back Kevin Smith and linebacker Ernie Sims, led previously by the very successful coach Ron Martinelli. They went 0 for 16. They had the perfect losing season. The LA Lakers, in their 2012-13 season, had a star-studded roster, including Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Dwight Howard, and a strong management team, and they still performed poorly. In the nonprofit world, Susan G. Komen for The Cure, the Wounded Warrior Project, the American Red Cross have suffered significant declines and failures, even while having a seemingly talented leadership team. So, no, management or leadership is not the single defining source code of success. It's important, yes, but it's not the most important source code. Well, then you might think, okay, then it must be the quality of the product. Yeah, that's it. It comes down to the quality of the product. Well, what is the number one restaurant in the world? The most successful restaurant in the world, what is it? In a culture with all these modern millennial foodies, with all the new celebrity chefs and all these shows about cooking and gourmet and great food, what is the number one restaurant in the world? The answer is McDonald's. McDonald's is still number one. Certainly not because of the quality of the product. In the wine world, it's filled with stuffy connoisseurs, masterfully trained sommeliers, great estate vineyards, perfectly placed in microclimates where the famous winemakers meticulously care for heritage strands of world-renowned vines to make the perfect nectar and age it to perfection in elaborately labeled bottles. But what is the number one wine in the world? Number one is Barefoot Sweet Red Blend, which tastes like Fanta grape soda, which is probably insulting to Fanta grape soda. Number two is Sutter Home, which comes in a jug, not even pretending to be elegant. And number three is Franzia, which comes in a box. Here's the hard truth that you'll need to grapple with. Unfortunately, and I don't like this fact, but it is a fact, the best product does not win. Look at every category: beer, washing machines, chiropractors, attorneys, financial advisors, realtors. The most successful are usually not necessarily the best quality. So, if it is not the best leadership that wins or the best product or service that wins, what does? What is the source code of your success? What is the one factor that will determine your success or failure? Are you ready for the answer? Here it is. It's the one with the best marketing. Here's the success reality you want to permanently groove into your gray matter. Your success, the success of your business, your legacy comes down to 10% the quality of your product. Now, it can't be crap. And 90% the marketing of that product. Again, I don't like that this is a fact, but it is a fact. For business owners, few things are more frustrating than seeing a competitor who offers an inferior product or service, maybe even with a less talented staff and leadership team, get far more attention and popularity and be far more successful than you are. And it is because the competitor is better at marketing. Companies only do two things. They make stuff, products and services. They sell that stuff, products and services. Many of them are great at number one, making stuff, but most suck at number two, selling that stuff. So you've got to make great stuff, yes. Or be the best at your service, yes. But being the best, you could still fail. The problem is most work the equation backwards. They spend 90% of their time, energy, focus, attention, and creative capacity on the product, the delivery, the service, the fulfillment. But that's only 10% of what's responsible for their ultimate success, hence the gross number of business failures. There have been tens of thousands of revolutionary, groundbreaking products or services that would have changed your life, but you never heard about them, and they failed. They went bankrupt. Why? Because their inventor or operator sucked at marketing. This is true in personal success as well. It's not the best quality person that wins the election. It's not the best quality leader that rises through the ranks of the corporation. It's not the best quality actor that succeeds in Hollywood. It's not the best quality biblical scholar or preacher that has the biggest church. It's not the best quality writer that sells more books. The success equation for every company, for every profit or nonprofit, and every individual striving, the success equation is 10% the quality of the endeavor, skill, character, or product output, and 90% the marketing, communication, and social promotion of it. Period. The end. Bottom line. Full stop. And this is why the alumni of our Business Masterclass post such extraordinary, jaw-dropping, big breakthrough results after they've attended. Why? Because they finally gained the strategies, insights, and tools to be effective in the 90% part of their business and personal world, which makes success breakthroughs possible. If you're genuinely looking for a breakthrough, if you're looking to get to the next level or 3 of success, I highly recommend that you get a seat in our next Business Masterclass. As the Chinese proverb says, all I can do is open the door for you. You have to enter on your own. I'm only offering you the option to those that are serious about experiencing a breakthrough. Here's the mindset shift that you need to make. You are not in the fill-in-the-blank business. You're not in the dentistry business or the real estate business or the financial services or the roofing or plumbing or food service business. You are in the marketing business, the marketing of your dentistry practice, the marketing of your real estate firm, the marketing of your financial services, roofing, plumbing, or food service business. Get this straight. People will not know how good you are at dentistry, at real estate, at financial services, at roofing, plumbing, and food services until they know how good of a marketer you are. I hope that you made lots of notes today in your Darren Daily Journal. And if you got this vital lesson here today and you're going to spend more time and focus and energy and attention and learning and study on marketing, write #marketing in the comments below.
Why does one go on to be super successful and another not? Decision. They decided to be successful. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what your being here says of you. Over the next 3 days, I'm going to lay before you more than 500 breakthrough ideas and strategies and tools that you need to help you achieve your big lasting impact in the world.